spoke to Giuseppe yet. I want to ask you, how good a player do you think Olise is, and how do you think he would light up a team like Chelsea?
Yeah, I think for me, Olise is a top player. I think he'd suit any team. I think it'd really suit Arsenal personally, but would he want to come up and pretty much be a backup for Saka? Because he would be at first. Maybe he could push and in another position or something like that. But for what he would know, he's coming in to be a backup. But if I'm being honest, I think Olise, if I'm Olise, out of the two, I pick Man United over Chelsea. I generally do, because I think Man United are the one that probably offers him a better route to success. Because I do think this new the new Man United that's coming together will actually push on and do very well. Whereas Chelsea, surely these players look at the amount of players that they just bring in and chuck out and bring in and chuck out. Like Madueke finished the season so well, and now all of a sudden they want Olise, so they're going to kick out Madueke. And it's like, I thought it was they're talking about finishing almost in the top 4. I think that one of the biggest reasons, one of the bigger players that stepped up for them in that last part of the season was Madueke. So I think Olise will light up whatever team he joins. I think he is that sort of player. I think Chelsea should worry about his injuries as well, the way they've got they moan about injuries all the time, because he does seem to get these injuries, but when he's there, he performs.
He doesn't get injured.
So
that's why overblown his injury record.
It's a myth, bro. He's had one injury that he basically re-triggered last season. It's the same injury.
Yeah, he's one of those weird players who, even Eze, a lot of people talk about both their injuries. You actually look at their official injury record. I thought they were bad, and then I went and checked it out, and I was like, oh, it's like 3 injuries. So, yeah, interesting. I agree with you. I think he's quality. I don't worry about if I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't care about the Madueke situation. I'm not someone that believes in that pathway stuff. In the sense of, if Man United this summer go and get João Neves and Paulinho, who's obviously going by it, I'm throwing names in here. We go and sign 2 really good midfielders. I am not concerned about Kobbie Mainoo's future. Because if he's good enough, he's going to play. If he isn't, then he was never good enough, and he goes on elsewhere. And as long as my team gets better, but yeah, I worry about how good Olise could be at Chelsea, because I do believe Olise is an exponentially better football player than Madueke. Madueke's got good skill, and he might become a more clinical football player. But I just look at Olise, and I think he's someone in the right team and system will just create and score more goals. In terms of comparing their dribbling ability and their skill on the ball, it's really similar. But when it comes to that end product, which I always think is the most important element for a footballer, I think Olise is just so much better than he is. Another player, Giuseppe, that Chelsea are also linked with is Julian Alvarez as well. There's talk about them putting in an offer for him. What do you make of that?
Yeah, if he's more for them, I think. If they had to choose one of them and I was Chelsea, I'd be choosing Alvarez. They probably don't need to choose. Maybe they could get both. But yeah, I rate Alvarez highly, man. I don't know why Arsenal. I get why, because I don't think Man City will sell to us, because I think they'll look at Alvarez and say, well, next season, these guys might be going neck and neck with us again, and Alvarez could be the guy that puts them over the line. But I think Alvarez is so quality, and I think he's so versatile in the front three and in the team, and he can play behind the striker. If him and Nkunku could do something together as well, they could both play on the pitch together. I think he's great, man. Like that would worry me more. I generally believe that signing would worry me more than the Olise signing for Chelsea. Because I don't think this guy will hide away. Like, I don't think Olise will hide away, but there's a way I can see Olise not hitting the heights that maybe we expect if he goes to Chelsea. But I don't think that is the same for Alvarez. I think if he goes to Chelsea, he'll instantly become like probably Chelsea's best attacker.
You know, he's valued at like 90 million, by the way.
Yeah, Alvarez.
He's not leaving City. Let's just be honest. He's not leaving City. No chance.
But he's worth it, I think.
90 million for Alvarez.
He's worth
it. He got 30 GA in 60 games. Not at all. I mean, in the market, that's probably what you're paying for.
You forget he's pushing into this City team, and he's there, and he's always producing. And I don't know if I've frozen or not, but
we hear you.
But like for me, yeah. So for me, I think that he's he's top quality and he's worth 90 million. When you look at the other people and what people are saying Solanke's worth and Ivan Toney's and all that, you've got to be looking at this guy and saying 90 million is 100% worth it.
Not at all. He's only 90 million because he plays for City. Let's just be honest. He's a good player, but he's not 90 million at all.
I think he's underrated. I think you underrate him because he plays for City.
No, I don't underrate him. I actually do rate him. I just don't rate him at 90 million. If you sign him for like a 60 to 70 million, I get that. But he's not 90 million at all. No chance. He's a good player, but he's never going to be the main guy in any team anyways. Like, I just don't think he has that quality.
Why can't he, just out of interest, why can't he be the main guy?
I just don't look at the quality that he possesses as a footballer, and I'm like, he's the best guy in your front.
Do you not think, though, he's playing in a team of superstars of like Foden and De Bruyne and Haaland, and if he comes out of that, similar to a Palmer, can he not go to another team? And
No, I agree. I actually do think he would. Just not at 90 million.
11 goals, 9 assists in 36 games to like 20 GA. That's a very good return for a player that, let's be honest, most time comes off the bench.
No, I agree with you. But like when you watch him with Argentina, he's a very good player for Argentina. Like he never looks like the guy who's like, you know what? When Messi retires, this is the next big thing.
Even they said that about Aguero. Aguero wasn't that great for Argentina.
No, but that's different. Okay, so that's a different conversation because that's a generation where they had more strikers than anything else.
Yeah.
So we can put that one to the side. I'm just talking about when you look at him. I understand he's a good player. I think he's a good player. I'm not saying he's a shit player. What I'm trying to tell people is he's only valued at 90 million because we look at City and we think City's just such a good team. Let's just go buy someone from City. Even if he's worth 90 million, he'll definitely be a hit. He will be a good player. I think if he goes to Chelsea, he does well. But I don't think he's worth 90 million. It's only that because of the club that he currently plays for. I got to remind you, he's also on the bench. So you're not even buying a consistent starter for his team. You know what I'm saying?
90 million is steep. That's crazy.
Like when you're asking me right now, would you rather sign Alvarez for 90 million or Olise for 60? I'm going Olise for 60 every day. Every day. Because Olise eventually will be 90 million.
Yeah.
Just like in the right team. Whereas Alvarez, I think this is the highest Alvarez is ever going to be price-wise. Like, I don't think he gets more expensive.
It is, but at the same time, I just don't think 90 million pound is... I mean, to all of us on this panel, it's a lot of money. I don't think 90 million pounds is a lot of money anymore for a 24-year-old who has been delivering in one of the hardest leagues in the world, who delivers internationally, who does score goals. Yeah, listen, he isn't going to be Messi because there is no one currently playing that can do what Messi did. That we might not see another person of Messi's level for 30 or 40 years in the same way as it took 30-odd years from Maradona to him, Maradona to Messi for us to see someone of that level. But people always criticize Chelsea and say, they spent $1 billion, and what does their squad look like? I look at this summer and think 90 million on Alvarez, 60 million on Olise. It's 150 million pound. That's two of the best. That's maybe the best 150 million pounds that it would have spent in the last 3 years because those two players are. I know Prem proven isn't everything, but they are proven at this level. Got good technical ability, score and create goals, a really good age. So they're under that 25 bracket, but they come with experience. I really feel like if Chelsea go and get like someone like Julian Alvarez and someone like Olise, they do both of those players, we are looking at a Chelsea team that's 100% pushing for the top four next year because they're just going to score. They really are.
No, definitely.
He's got less question marks for me than Sesko at 65 million. Definitely less question marks. That's the thing. It's like I don't know. City, I think would be reluctant to sell him. This isn't like a Gabriel Jesus situation when they were okay to sell him. It's totally different. This one would come if it's in the league. It could come back to bite them. If he is going to leave, I see him either going to PSG, Atletico Madrid. I really do. I see him moving abroad.
I don't think he would choose them over Chelsea. To be fair, it's just
no. This is not the point of choosing. If Man City decide to sell, I think they'd sell abroad. I don't think they'd sell in the same league. It's not like it's not the same.
I agree with that to a certain degree.
They want to get the same money abroad.
I feel like the money dictates the transfer.
PSG. That's the only one you get, probably.
I hear you saying, Andrew. I think it's more likely whoever spends the most will get him. I don't think it's a case of if PSG offers 75 and we offer 85, they'll say no to us because we're Chelsea. I think they will say.
If he wants to come to us and we can reprice, I'm paying I would pay 90 million, like I said, instead of 65 for Sesko.
Yeah,
I'd pay 90 million for Alvarez instead of that.
it's going to be an interesting one. Viewers, we're waiting for you here.